Welcome to IT by Design's Culture and Career Corner with CEO Sunny Kayla. Today's guest is Ankur Kumar, Head of Service Delivery at IT by Design. Today, they chat about culture, lessons learned, solving problems for partners, and Ankur's upcoming trip to Build It Live. Over to you, Sunny.
Ankur, thank you so much for joining me today for ITBD's Culture and Career Corner. This is a new podcast series that we have started. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sunny. Pleasure is all mine. I am really glad to be a part of this event. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's very, very exciting for me because my guest today is so special, so near and dear to me.
Thank you, Sunny. It's a mutual respect for each other. Thank you for that. A decade ago, I couldn't have imagined that I would grow with such lovely people and beautiful environment. So thank you for that.
So IT by Design journey. So talk to me a little bit more, like, your starting year to 2022 and which role you started with and how you kind of really develop yourself and taken all these opportunities, availed all those opportunities to get to now a very, very senior level position, which is you are the head of our entire site, the NCR site that we were, the New Delhi, the Noida site that we were talking about.
So when we started, and as we know, and I want to tell the world that, the beginning of all great things are small. So we started off with a small office up north, and we started with a dozen people and started working with them and helping them grow and understanding. So at that point, I think, Sunny, you always believed in title-less leadership. So even if that was manager, but it was more or less like P2P, P&2 president, and we were working hands in together and hiring people, bringing in right people, right resources, helping them grow and let them see the real technology world. Because I just don't want to dignify any other organization, but yes, the kind of work IT by Design gives to their engineers, to their resources, I can guarantee, I can bet, not because I'm a part of it, but because I have seen the industry from last 2 decades. It's fantastic. So from there, gradually moving up, having the first site in our up north, Chandigarh, and then building another site in Noida. Every time, I think we did one great thing, and that was giving the growth that people are looking for and giving them that psychological safety to do the right thing and do the legitimate mistakes. So I think that really helped me as well, that, do your best, prepare, well planned, do it. And if something goes wrong, we are in this together. So that was fantastic about IT by Design.
Yeah. So you mentioned psychological safety, that environment which is conducive to trying new things, making bigger choices, we call it, or taking risk, right? And then if we're not successful, that doesn't mean failure. It means, okay, it's a learning experience. And how can we now use that experience to transform is the whole culture, the environment that we talk about. What do you think you did differently that you have accelerated your growth, your career to this level?
Sure, Sunny. Thank you for asking. And I'm really glad to answer that, because that's really the magic mantra or the secret sauce. Yes. So I think the first thing is a person must be intentional about learning, about reading, about growing.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything with any person if he himself is not intentional about his learning and about his growth. So that's very important. I was always intentional that what else can I do? What else can I do? How better I can do it? What's the next step? Things like that. And second thing is, it's not about your intentional mindset, but also it should be accompanied by your passion for growth too. So learn, but learn with a passion. It more or less reminds me of one other quote which says, how much is too much and too much is how much nobody knows. So we just gotta have that mindset that I just gotta go from point A to point B, and this is my timeline. So be passionate and be intentional.
Be passionate, be intentional. Yeah, those are really, really Awesome learnings and insights for any individual. Could, people that are coming out of colleges, people that are intentional about their growth, that nothing starts without passion.
Yes.
Nothing starts without willingness to learn, and then being intentional about learning. So thank you for sharing that. Now let's go deeper into this a little bit more, because our purpose with this podcast is to make a difference in a lot of professionals' lives. They can be kind of traveling their career journey within ITBD or somewhere else, right? So I want to kind of talk about a little bit, like, let's talk about, like, passion comes first, or learning comes first, or you said, okay, willingness to learn, or being, having that growth mindset. So is there any order that people need to have, like overall clarity, understanding that, okay, I need to work on this piece first, and then I need to work on this piece first?
Really great, and and this is an amazing question. And personally, I feel, there's nothing wrong or right, but personally, I feel that sooner we find the purpose in life, better we would be in our life. So I think even before passion, even before intention, before even money or growth or anything, purpose. We have seen a lot of freedom fighters and a lot of soldiers dying in their teenage and in their 20s because they found purpose in their life. And we have seen people just slogging hard and not getting where they want to be even in their 50s. So purpose is the most important thing, and definitely once you find the purpose, you get the passion, you get the intention, you get the growth.
That's awesome. So start with discovering yourself and why you are on this earth. What is your purpose, right? The purpose understanding. And then that gives you, like, overall put your passion and your growth mindset, and you being intentional about learning to support that purpose. How you can make that bigger impact now that you are kind of operating with purpose, and everything else kind of follows, or it kind of gives you that motivation, that confidence, and you have a very different level of drive to drive things, right? And yes, so one thing, so talking about being intentional about learning, a couple of years ago, I remember that we were in Chandigarh office, and then we went for dinner, and we had that conversation about your evening routine. And one thing that I still remember, and it was my learning from you as well, that Sunny, I have this habit of reading every day. And I'm like, Ankur, how do you do this? You go, like, you work night shift, you have this routine where you go early morning, like India early morning, and then how do you do this? And you're like, I just have this habit that whenever I'm gonna go to sleep, even if I read one line, two lines, I just don't break my habit. I normally try to 20 minutes. That's what I remember from that day. That routine might have changed, but this was a couple of years ago. And I'm like, this is a great concept, Sunny. I sometimes skip my reading that I need like good half an hour to read, but it's not about reading. It's about developing that healthy habit of reading every day. And that can be just one line, one page, 2 pages, 10 pages. It's about habit, and it's about consistency. And that was one thing that I adopted. And I know how helpful it was, that not waiting for that reading time, because normally my reason for not being a good reader was I don't have time. And now, just like a brush in the morning, this is just a habit that I need to read every single day. And that could be one page, one line.
Thank you for quoting that, because I can just share my real life example. When I was, 2 decades ago, I was just thinking and striving hard to learn another language, a foreign language, which is English as of now. So, and that point of time, I just heard a quote, and that was so apt. And the quote was that if you do not read 15 minutes a day, that is chosen illiteracy. So that's chosen illiteracy. Even if you're literate, that's okay. Doesn't matter. If you can read, you must. And because of that, that learning and that reading 15 minutes a day, no matter what, even if I'm that tired, I'm just standing and reading because I just want to win over myself. I just want to win over myself because nobody make their own life. They make their habits and their habits make their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So habits is something that's really critical and important. And that's why I just do that.
Yeah, no, healthy habits are just so important, super important. And we were talking about this morning, Ankur, with the mental health awareness month being there, and mental health, the life coach that we brought in today. And she was talking about best practices for mental health and how important is now what our learnings were to kind of, operationalize those or adopt those ideas into your daily habits, and how daily habits can make or break people. And this is another kind of really great takeaway, is that healthy habits will build your life, and bad habits will just destroy your life. It's called self-destruction when you are kind of really adopting bad habits, or you're not able to manage your good habits. And Atomic Habits, I think we discussed that this morning as well, that Atomic Habits is a great book which just talks about value and power of habits. That even if you make like 1% progress with any habit that is important to you, that you want to develop, that healthy habit, that 1% every day accumulates to, just imagine power of 1% every day for 365 days a year, right? And a lot of people, Ankur, fail. I personally experienced it, especially during young years, that, like you start with your New Year resolution, and then you do it for it could be going to gym, it could be something else, because we just take a very big step just to start with. And then time commitment normally, and the discipline and the overall to build that capability is not there, and then we fail. We do it kind of with that rush of winning for maybe 1 week, 1 month. But I think there's just so much power that I realized over years when I was not able to honor my New Year resolution commitments, that how can I do it differently, and I'm more successful in honoring my commitments when I say, okay, 1% is better. And this is something that I learned from Atomic Habits. And I know that concept just is simple, but it works. That just make 1% progress. So viewers, if this is something that aligns with your personal vision of success, and this is something that you want to do, you want to be a better reader like Ankur, it is, you might want to consider 1% every day. That if you're reading, you're not reading, just probably start with 1 line every day, right? Every day. That is probably your 1%, or 1 page, whatever it means. But build it into a habit that is already there. Maybe you want to, before you brush it, if you're a morning person, before brushing your teeth, you can probably start reading that 1 line, right? Okay, before I brush, I'm going to read 1 line or 1 page. And it's just power of repeating something every day. Then it's going to be 2 lines and 2 pages and 4 pages. It's going to develop. I appreciate you. And I'm so blessed that I have Ankur, and Ankur type of lot more leaders, because he developed other leaders like awesome Ankur, and all these team members that you bring in because they're good human beings. The only thing I can say is it's a blessing to experience life with you. And I truly, truly value you. I appreciate you. And you have an awesome, awesome rest of the day.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you so much for this invitation to build it, to this invitation to this podcast. Feeling is mutual. It's been a long journey, and we are looking forward to have more decades. It's just 1 decade passed by, and a lot of leaders who are now developing under the developed leaders. So it's leaders developing leaders developing leaders. So future is so fantastic and beautiful. And future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, and we are dreaming big. So really excited for the future to come, and thank you once again. Thank you.